I heard a gunshot. I didn't hear any barking. I didn't hear any yelling, nothing. I'd heard a gunshot. I turned to my neighbor and said, "That sounded like a gunshot." And then we both agreed, this is East Fort Worth. No big deal. And about that time, my neighbor's son came running around on my side of the property. I was on my neighbor's property at the time. He came running around with my two dogs, and he was yelling incoherently, and I suddenly realized something was very wrong here, and I got up and ran over, and I saw one of my dogs bleeding profusely. And so then I realized he'd been shot, and I grabbed him and by the collar, and we went out. I tried to put him in my car, but he didn't want to move. And then I looked up and I saw a person out in the street. There was an SUV on the far side of the street, and there was a Hispanic male standing in the street on this side of the car. And I walked up to him and I asked him, "Are you the MFer that shot my dog?" And he said, "Yes." And I'm like, "Why?" He said, "I felt threatened." And then I called him a couple of more expletives. And then I decided it was time for me to leave because I had to find somebody to save my dog. Now the two things that or the three things I had when I approached him that he didn't have, well, there was one thing we both had, and that was a weapon. I had a weapon on me with my permit, and he did not have a permit. The policeman told me he did not have a permit. I had a permit, and I had good judgment because I kept my pistol in my pocket. When you have a weapons permit, you're trained to assess the situation, assess the threat, take your options in order, and then react. This man did nothing but react. He shot my dog. He didn't yell at him. He didn't fire a warning shot to try to scare him. He just shot him. And that's reprehensible. And what's happened after all this makes it even worse because now he's fabricating events that just simply did not occur. I took my dog to the vet, and that wonderful veterinarian out at Hewlin Animal Hospital saved his life. I picked him up the next morning, and he's right here, and he's doing great. I've had neither Pilar nor Pedro Juarez approach me about how are my dogs doing. How about the vet bill, my $2,530.39 vet bill? I've heard nothing from them. All I've heard is vitriol that this man is putting out on social media.